We just touched down Osei from Rock City in Ko. The place was amazing. I feel refreshed, good food, great environment. Definitely gonna go back there again. But today's day 2 of the caravan and we are in the Ashanti region, aka Osei. We're gonna learn all about the Manhyia Palace and appreciate the Ashanti people. And maybe we might make a stop to take a look at the Akwaboah sword. Rumor has it that no man has been able to take that sword out of the ground since Akwaboah placed it there. Will one of our caravanites succeed at taking it out? Let's see. Hello and welcome to Kumasi from Hollard. We are really excited to have the Heritage Caravan here today, and it's just significant that they are in Kumasi, which is one of our major offices. We are welcoming the Heritage Caravan with coconuts, and just to give them a refresher and for them to feel like, you know, this journey has been worth it. We're once again very excited to be supporting the caravan. It's important that we've got the caravan covered and that we are providing insurance cover for everyone's needs whilst they are on the bus to ensure that they worry less during the trip. So once again, welcome to Kumasi from Hollard, Ghana, Hollard Insurance and Hollard Life Assurance.
Well, Ashanti Kingdom is over 400 years old, and of all the kingdoms in West Africa, and in particular African in general, the Ashantis have featured prominently in all aspects of life, in arts, in crafts, in music, in dance, in military, and they are known purposely for their military strategies and tactics. They engaged the British in a series of wars that made them so popular all over the world. They fought the British in 7 major wars, of which they won 3 and the British won 4. So this made them, give them a mark all over the world. And everybody learning history cannot learn history of Africa without mentioning Ashanti Kingdom. The kingdom itself is a moving museum. So that anytime a chief moves, you see all manner of things that is enough to call a museum. A lot of people rush in to find when chiefs are meeting, when chiefs are organizing a Durbar so that they can see such a museum. To their disappointment, more often than not, it is not almost always in place, for which reason people come in disappointed. So one of the kings of Ashanti, Asante Opokuware, who passed on 1999, decided somewhere in the early 90s to set up a museum, so that anybody who comes here and would not see activities can go to the museum and see the very things that chiefs carry along with them when they move. So replica of such things were kept at the museum. Over and above that, they also have very natural objects which are carried from the museum and to be used by the chiefs and the king when he's in state. After that, it's brought back to the museum. So this is all the more reason why the king decided to set up a museum. And it has served a lot of purpose. A lot of people come in their numbers to see what is at the museum and to be told all the stories about it, objects that they see at the museum. So it is surprising to note that people can fly from various parts of the world just to come and see the museum. Last year alone, they had a number of people numbering up to about 80,000 coming to the museum. Yes, it was recorded just last year. Now, with Ashanti's tour all over the world to market the kingdom, it is believed that it may be twice or more this year. Now, when you come to the museum, it is made up of different aspects. That is, you see pictures of past kings of Ashanti, and then pictures of visitors to the kingdom, dating back to the early 19th or 18th century. So you see all these pictures, then you will be told stories about them. You also see some of the things which are carried along when the king is in procession, or he's moving along a group. Like the guns which were used by the kings of Ashanti, every king had his own gun, and these guns would be preserved. So dating as far back to the 16th or 17th century, that's 16 something, when the Ashanti kingdom was established, the first king has his gun there. That is the King Osei Tutu the first. The second king, King Opokuare, has his gun. And all the kings have their guns. Even in modern days, when we don't have kings going to war, we still have the kings manufacturing their own guns, just in case, or buying their own gun, just in case there is any event of that nature. You also see the war dress of the king of Ashanti, and this is also displayed. The pictures are displayed, and stories are told about them.
So far, this is day 2, and the experience has been probably, I should say, more than I actually anticipated. I'd heard a lot about the caravan, so I've been pushing for this, and it's been worth my while. In specific reference to the tour of the Manhyia Palace Museum, it's been very interesting, fascinating, eye-opening. For instance, I thought that the capture of the Ashanti chiefs to Seychelles Island was a demeaning act, and in addition, they were going to be ill-treated and all, but it was far from that. They were very well taken care of. So I think for the British, the essence was to take away their physical presence from the kingdom by way so that they take away their power, so their power to rule directly. So that is one thing that I have learned amongst many others. It's an experience that can not be described enough in words, but must be experienced by being on the next caravan. So I entreat anybody, so far as you can make time and invest in experiences rather than material stuff. Some things cannot just be valued, and this is one such thing. Thanks for having me on board.
My experience with the caravan has been good so far. I mean, it's only been about a day and a half, but I've met some new people. I've experienced more of the Ghana time and the Ghana ways. We went to the museum here today, and it was good to learn a lot of people. My dad is from the Ashanti region and from Kumasi, so it was good to learn more about what he told me growing up and my heritage and my background. And I didn't really realize that a lot of the people, or there was people that were exiled to the Seychelles, and I had a lot of interest in Seychelles, mainly because it's just been a beautiful place. But now that there's Ashanti roots and stuff there too, is where it's good. So.
We are at Bantama. When I say Bantama, it's a suburb of Kumasi. It's here that the legendary priest Okomfanoche planted a sword around 1695. Wow. He did not put the sword here to tell us his presence here, but the sword he planted here was planted here to mark the place where the Ashanti Kingdom started. It's also here to tell us where the golden stool, which is the highest stool of allegiance in the Ashanti Kingdom, came from. And above all, is here for the unity of the Ashanti Kingdom. Before the day this sword was planted here, there were no particular group of people or individual known as Asantis. They were having Akans, and all these Akans were living in individual states. Each of the Akan states was an independent state. Though they were independent, they were looking for power from each other. And when we talk about power, it's all about people. It's all about wealth. It's about wisdom as well as justice. So if one wants to become powerful, that person needs more followers. And to be able to get the followers, you need to wage war. Because once you wage war and you defeat, you will get land. Once you have the land, automatically the people living on the land will be your followers. So they used to have what we call interstate or interfamily war. So some of the people gathered in the forest here to discuss how they will be able to put a stop to this. So here, in the middle of a derby like this, the priests and archers stood to invoke the gods for the golden stool to be conjoined onto the laps of King Osei II that made him a leader of the group. He was given a sword to swear to protect the people. They also swore to protect him. The part of individual hair, fingernails were collected, brought together and burnt into ashes. Some of these ashes were mixed with palm wine for all of them to drink like covenants. Then he collected all the black stools belonging to these individual chiefs, dig a big hole here, buried the stools with the rest of the ashes and kept the sword on top. Said to them, if any one of them goes and come back here for his stool, the unity that they have will collapse. He said there will be a time. This place will be a healing place for many, birth place for many, and death place for many. And this prophecy he made on that day came through the time they were building the hospital here. It was in the early 1950s that happened that there must be a hospital for the people in the northern sector of Gold Coast, now Ghana, due to the fastest growing of population in this sector. A contract was given to a British and European company called G. Walker and Slater to come and survey Kumasi city and look for a best place for a hospital of this kind to be constructed. During their construction of the hospital, they came across the sword in the forest here. They thought it was gold because those days banks were not common. So a lot of people used to save their money in the soil and put signals there. So when they found the sword properly stuck in the soil, they thought it was gold. So they decided to take it. They dig around it and the sword was not coming out. They brought a machine to pull it at force. The sword became invisible. So they decided to excavate the whole place so that wherever the sword will be, they'll get it out. They did so. The following day, they came to work and the sword was there as if nothing has happened to the place. So they begin to tell people about the mystery going on here. When the people hear this, they will come and look at the sword. They'll never believe them. They try to pull it with their physical strength. Many people has been here, including the former heavyweight champion. The late boxer Muhammad Ali was in Ghana in 1964. He came to try, he was not able to do this. It made a Ghanaian boxer called Jack Tola went for voodoo or juju to be able to bring the sword out because he said he can never break the record of Ali in the ring or through punches. So he will come here to take this sword out to break this record of Ali. He came, Jack Tola. He came and spent weeks here, he was not able to do this. So all what I'm trying to tell you is that this sword we found here was not planted here to show wonders or to throw a challenge to anybody. But it's here to tell us where the Ashanti Kingdom started, where the golden stool came from, and for the unity of the Ashanti Kingdom. I told you the people who gathered here were Akans. Those Akans who came here to form this confederacy became Asantis. They became Asantis because of what brought them here. These people came together because of war. The theme of the meeting was because of war, because they wanted to wage war against their fellow Akan states. And whenever they wage war, their fellow Akans will say, this is the group which came together because of war. And because of war literally translates in Akan as Esa Nti. Esa means war. Ashanti means because of war. So when they wage war, they will say Ashanti for the group which came together because of war. And as they continue saying that, the phrase Esa Nti corrupted to be Asante. So the word Asante is a corrupted word from the phrase Esa Nti, meaning because of war. Esa Nti. Please can you repeat that after me? Esa.